There's a staring contest going on, if you can call it that for now. You see, we often devalue the word war. The people who really know what war is are the ones who live through it. Today, that's the people of Ukraine, and not even all of Ukraine, but those areas that are being ground down the most, you see, and also the residents of the Russian border regions. That's what war is. Everything else is just different forms of hybrid confrontation. In this sense, war has never stopped on this planet for even a single day. Never, especially in Europe. No, of course, there isn't an actual war going on. What's happening is politics teetering on the edge of war, a politics of nerves. For now, it's all just drawing lines on paper. If you do this, then we might do that. And all the calculations seem to show that right now. So look, the whole intrigue lies in the fact that the goal is to delay the start of this war, or maybe it won't start at all, or to push it back to the point when Europe is as ready for it as possible. And essentially, right now, the Ukrainians are playing the role of those 300 Spartans because Europe would prefer to prepare for war at its own pace. That's the most important thing. That is, no one wants to just immediately throw away all their green, blue, purple, and especially rose-colored glasses and programs and start redirecting resources to the military-industrial complex on a long-term basis. It is clear that absolutely no one wants to give up the wonderful alternative services available today or the essential freedom of choice we enjoy. No one wants to go back from a modern professional army to the old system of a mass conscript army like we had in the past. No one wants to roll back the humanitarian and environmental programs for greening Mars or shift to producing tens of thousands of drones like in the last century. Because there was an illusion that the world could now do without all of this entirely. Let me remind you of Ruby's excellent speech, who was much more clear on this issue. In short, no one wants to give up the wonderful idea of the end of history. No one wants to face the truth that real history is only just beginning, and this history could turn out to be very, very bloody, harsh, and unpleasant. That's why Europe understands that it has to move in this direction. There seems to be no other option, but it would prefer to move gradually, without making any sudden moves, buying itself a couple of extra years. And in order to buy those extra years, it's necessary to maintain the level of conflict in Ukraine, like with a gas burner when you're cooking aspic for a long time. You can't let it go too fast, but you also can't let it go out. You put the aspic on the burner, set it to a low flame, and wait for everything to simmer. So essentially, it serves Europe's strategic interests to keep this war simmering on the stove like aspic.